Hello guys, DJParson here, and I'm back for the last game of the International Championship Season 10, and what a wild ride it has been. 6 games have completed, you have seen all of those, and if we go down, it couldn't really be any closer in our Masters 2 leagues. As you can see, some people already have finished all their 7 games, so there's only one more game to come, and that is going to be Ranch, me, Mushan, and Kimmo. And the points are really close, so it's still possible for Ranch, me, and Mushan to win this league. If me or Mushan win this game and Ranch doesn't come in second place, then that player will win the league. Of course, Ranch has the best position. For him, just the second place will be enough to secure him the win of the entire league and rank up to Grandmaster. So that's going to be really exciting. So we always have to keep that in mind, that we have to win and Ranch does not reach the second place. So if we probably have to try something more aggressive against Ranch. If he has a good early game, we definitely have to try to beat him down a little bit. But one thing is for sure, we have to win this game to be able to win the league, so that is still the main goal and what we're trying to achieve here. Before we get into this game, just a quick reminder, if you like my content, if you like my videos, there are several ways you can support me. First of all, you can subscribe to the channel, that really helps. You can leave me some comment and a like if you like what you've seen, and maybe have some suggestions or anything that you want to point out to me where I made some mistakes, or maybe you thought where I did a great play. Also, you can follow me on Twitch. I stream once, twice, or mostly 3 times a week, so follow me on twitch.tv/DJParson. I also have a Patreon now, so you can check out the Patreon if you want to support me financially, because I don't run any ads or anything. So if you feel like doing that, you can check out the patreon.com/DJParson. And I have a Twitter now as well, and there I am DJParsonTTA, so follow me there if you like that. With that said, let's get into the last game and hope that we can win it. And this game against the Mushan, Kimmo, and Ranch, we have the second place. And let's first take a look at the leaders and wonders. And there's Bill Gates and Pierre, that's nice. Steve Jobs, Red Cross, Ant-Man Project. I like to look at those. United Nations. Then from H2 we have Robespierre, Watt, Nobel, and Bach. Bach very good, but no Marlene. But Joan of Arc, so we could go for Joan of Arc, a couple of temples, upgrade them with Bach. The Louvre, the Ocean Liner, really like that. That's also pretty important. Statue of Liberty. Match 1 we have Zizka and Joan of Arc. Nostradamus in 4 plays, also really good. Then there's Universitas, Forbidden City, and from HA we have Library and Roman Roads. So Mushan picked the Engineering Genius, pretty good pick for him. I tend to think Roman Roads and Boudica here. Boudica in second position is definitely okay. Alternatively, we would just grab the Library, but I think Roman Roads is equal level. I like to play with the Library a little bit more, so I would prefer the Library, but it's still really good, the Roman Roads. And then Boudica for free, basically, because we would have to pay 2 selections for the Library, so I like picking her as well with as the Roman Roads, so that seems like a good start. Kimmo will take Richland and the Library. Ranch takes Hippocrates for 3, interesting. And now Mushan probably takes Cleopatra, maybe? Yeah, Cleopatra. Doesn't have a good wonder, has Engineering Genius and Cleopatra without a wonder. And if he gets one, that's going to be Acropolis or Stonehenge, not the best. Can play Boudica here. We could think about grabbing the iron for 3, but I think that's way too early for that. We need to use our actions on something different. I'm building that mine for now. And then Caesar will be discarded, right? No, Kimmo might get Caesar. But with Boudica, it's only going to be bad when 2 players are stronger than us, and that shouldn't happen for now. Maybe someone gets Acropolis as well, like if Ranch goes for the Acropolis, but yeah, we still don't have to worry about that yet. And then maybe take the Frugality, that doesn't cost an action. Which land might be better, but that really depends if we can use that, and Frugality can always be used pretty fast, pretty early. 1 extra food. Greenwich land would also be okay, but yeah, we have the extra resource production from Roman roads, so maybe getting the frugalities is nice. And then see what our first cards will be. An aggression and cultural influence, both not the best. Kimmer will elect Sun Tzu, so he's stronger than us now. Let's hope Ranch doesn't take the Acropolis. He will not, that's good for us. And then let's hope Mushan doesn't take the iron, or he takes the Acropolis and the iron. Ah, that's not that great. So we could play the cultural influence here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's play the cultural influence here. It's development of warfare. We can take a free warrior, that makes us nice and strong again. Then take the science. And I guess we can't build our philosophy then, but we can start building on the Roman roads. And these guys have the same pretty difficult decision. Kimmer has a free worker, Ranch has one, and Mushan has one, so everyone can play warrior. But there's always the problem that we don't have the population to build a lab then as well. So that's going to be interesting if they go for that. So there is Bach and Normalene. We could think about taking drama here. We could also take cultural heritage. That's the first H1 card that we can take. And then we could increase population with the frugality. So with free population for the development of religion, for example. And then next turn we finish the Roman roads. Seems solid. We delay our science a little bit. But I think that might be okay. We get extra science from Boudica and then from the cultural heritage as well. So I think that's okay. And then see if we draw anything good. Any tactics maybe. Able trade good agreement. Probably not that good. Kimmer will open development of religion. He can use that and builds a second lab. Builds one step on the pyramids. Can't finish that next turn. Needs 2 extra resources. Relatively likely. Ranch will not play politics. He gets that free temple as well. And then Mushan also gets free temple. Upgrades to iron already. That is early. And now our turn. And we can think about playing something. Naval trade probably won't be accepted, to be honest. That is a really weird pact. I could play the historic territory, but also don't have to. So we get a free religion. We can decide again what we want to take. Probably the science again. And then finish the Roman roads. Take that breakthrough. And I mean, we could think about that drama. There is Bach, no Marlene, but yeah, maybe the drama or the swordsman. We already have 2 warriors, so swordsman could be nice. We already have that free religion, so drama could be nice. I mean, yeah, there's Shakespeare and Bach. As well as Joan of Arc. I like to have the drama in my hand. Alternatively, would probably be the swordsman. But yeah, both warrior and religion came out already, so we can just not increase population for a while and get that extra food. I like that. And is that the first drama? Yeah, nope. Let's take the drama. I like to have that. And then get rid of the aggression probably and see what we draw. Getting that extra resource protection, so soon we can go with the philosophies. And there's fighting band. So I mean, for us even Vrishka's a good option with that. Kimmer will open the development of science. Go for Code of Laws. Can develop that this turn. Pretty nice for him. And masonry. Can't go for that next turn and build that library, but okay. Ranch will pick up the knights. And nothing else. Okay, still doesn't have Wonder, doesn't want the Forbidden City. Mushan will open the development of trade routes. Go for Barbarossa. Upgrades iron, builds a warrior. Okay, did it normally increase population? Not the biggest fan of that when he just picked up Barbarossa. Yeah, increases population. Oh no, and builds a warrior. He did use Barbarossa, so pretty nice. So we could again play the historic territory of the naval trade agreement. I mean, naval trade could be pretty nice now, but I don't know who would accept that. Only someone who has played a lot. Maybe Kimmo has drawn some colonies and has played them. We could offer that to him. I mean, our turn is gonna be probably take the science and then maybe go with the iron. Such an early iron is pretty good. Upgrade 2 times, so we don't have problems with the yellow cubes anyway. So I think this is totally fine. Would love Nostradamus, but of course not for 3 civil actions. And then the early iron I think is more important than the early alchemy. So overall I think this looks pretty solid. And this is a nice turn, so I don't want to play this historic territory. I could play this tactic to become stronger. Yeah, we have the knights, 2 knights left. Interesting that Kimmo played that tactic before he has the knights, but I guess he's Sun Tzu, so he can't do that. Yeah, overall a lot of food, not really afraid of the rats yet. And then going up to 3 strength should mean that we can decide if we can what we want to get from Boudica next turn again. So I like playing the tactic. And then the rest is looking solid as well. Can go for the iron next turn. We still only had 1 science production, but we get extra science from Boudica. So maybe next turn we can finally build another philosophy. Or maybe go for the monarchy if that's still available with our extra science and everything from the cultural heritage. I would like the monarchy. And yeah, get rid of the naval trade agreement now, I think. We have the iron, we don't need that as much. Only drawing 1 card. Nice tactic, if we get the knights, that's definitely good. And there's Zizka. Let's see if Kimmo will commit 3 civil actions to take Zizka here. He has a tactic already, would mean those 2 knights become highly contested, but it's relatively likely that he gets one of those. So, Zizka appears. Kimmo will open development of crafts and I guess finishes, yeah, with the masonry, saves 1 civil action and takes Forbidden City. Yeah, that masonry might pay off pretty soon. He doesn't take Zizka. Kimmo will take Nostradamus, who's also pretty good. And the Taj Mahal definitely has enough resource for that next turn, I guess. But yeah, getting that for free is pretty nice. Mushan will take Monarchy, go for that with Propolis. Zizka will stay on 2, but I still think we're gonna take him. Sadly we are not, yeah, we are one of the 2 weakest now, so we can't decide what we want to get from Boudica. So, but yeah, I think I really want Zizka here. If not, then Kimmo takes him definitely. And Zizka for 2 is definitely nice. We can't play him already. Fulfill the tactic 2 times, get extra culture production. I think we can't really get out of corruption because of the extra 2 resources. So maybe we just build a warrior for free. Still have corruption, but with 8 resources and 6 production. Could be worse. So I think we just have to accept the corruption this turn. There's really no other way around that because of the 2 extra free resources. Could upgrade, increase population, but yeah, I don't think we can do any of that. Could do like this, but still corruption, but we get more resource production. Yeah, but I think I want to spend my food. We have enough resources anyway. So sadly 1 corruption or 2 corruption. Still a lot of science, not a lot of production. But with the cultural heritage, we're playing very low science game, but I think that's okay. And if we get knights, we might even upgrade to the medieval army. Also gonna see what Kimmo goes for, which if he stays with the phalanx and increases that tactic, I would love for him to copy ours and then increase the fighting band. But I think that chances isn't really high. Good thing about playing the historic territory. Probably can't really go for that, but I guess we, yeah, I mean we could play that. So we are strongs for the next turn. Yeah, let's do that. We got agriculture, okay. Doesn't change anything. We're gonna have corruption anyway. Yeah, so this doesn't change a lot. So that's a good turn to get that. I mean, yeah, nothing else to do really. We become strongest for the next couple of cards. Cultural influence would be nice because we produce more from Zizka already. Yeah, corruption is okay. And then see what we draw. I mean, early reds would be a problem, but that would be for all of them. Oh, foray and uncertain borders with Zizka. Definitely want to play those. But yeah, everybody has a lot of food now, thanks to the bit of agriculture. So reds would hit everybody. And Kimmo will build on his Forbidden City, take breakthrough and rich land. Ranch will open border conflict, and we win that. Pretty nice. That's 3 extra resources. I like that. So that paid off. The ranch will build on his Taj Mahal. Has alchemy, no tactic yet. Mushan increases food production. Yeah, that's pretty good with Barbarossa. He has the Legion. And let's see on our turn. We could maybe play the foray. And with the Zizka, that should be relatively safe. Yeah, let's maybe play the foray here. We're not the strongest, but second strongest. Historic territory. I mean, we could use the Epiphase. I can't really bid more than 1 warrior though. So maybe just like this. See if that's enough. Probably not. Yeah, most definitely not. And Kimmo wins it for 2+. Pretty nice for him. But I mean, historic territory, definitely not the most important one. And now let's think about our turn. We have 9 science. I think the Code of Laws could be pretty good. I mean, we're gonna have some problems with corruption here. I would love to get the Universitas, but yeah, I can't take that for 4. Would have got us too much corruption. Definitely can increase population. And theoretically we could go for 2 dramas. Then we don't have corruption. Then we don't get the Code of Laws, don't get monarchy. And this is pretty good culture production early, especially with the cultural influence. One problem is we're gonna lose 2 yellow cubes, then we don't have any more production, so we're gonna be stuck with 3 food. Maybe it's, yeah, maybe we'd rather go for the Code of Laws. Then we have 5 civil and 3 military actions for now, which is pretty good. Then we can maybe build a lab, which is also good, getting some more science production. And then we're gonna have corruption if we don't build an iron. I think the 2 dramas is too much. We would be at only 1 science production still. I guess we get 1 more from Roman roads soon. So drama also is not bad. But yeah, the food is looking tricky. If we don't get more food production, we're gonna have 3 food and age will probably end and we can't increase population. So if I really want to build another agriculture, that's really no problem with Zizka. Also gives us 1 more culture production. And then next turn we have 4 food. And then we can increase population. And then maybe build that religion or drama. So I think I like this way a little bit more. 2 corruption is not the biggest issue because we have so many resources anyway. So I think we're just going to take that one. Go up to 4 food, which is good, and territories, okay. And then let's see where the tactics go. If Kimmo will stay with the phalanx, or if he has a new tactic that he wants to go for, he would need to take the knights for 3. Or could wait for the other knight, but yeah, that's gonna be interesting if Kimmo goes for another tactic that he improves, or if he's gonna improve the phalanx. Kimmo will open the wealthy territory. I mean, the wealthy territory is not really good for us. We have 14 resources anyway. And sending, I mean, we can maybe send 1, but we don't have any colonization cards, and 2 would already be too much. We don't have the food to really support that. So we can bid 1. It's not going to be enough, so maybe can just pass. Yeah, probably just pass. Don't give them any information what we have, what we would be willing to send. So just passing doesn't give them any information. And yeah, of course, Mushan takes it for 2+. That's really cheap for him. So Kimmo also deciding to pass. That's interesting, but that's really good for Mushan. He really wants that with Barbarossa. And yeah, he wins it for 1 warrior, pretty good for Barbarossa, he can rebuild that with him. Kimmo will finish the Forbidden City, go for Theocracy. Yeah, I like that with Code of Laws and Forbidden City, he has enough civil actions. And then C range will play something, and it's gonna be the call to arms. Pretty good for us. These guys losing some civil actions. Yeah, I like that. And then he will finish the Taj Mahal. Go for alchemy. Does he have a tactic? No tactic for him yet. Can copy the other one next turn. And then Mushan will also open something. The strategic territory. Okay, that's interesting. Mushan would probably like to get that one as well. Territory is always a good idea. Can bet 2 warriors, go up to 3 strength. That might be enough. Let's see, how much did he bid last turn? Where is it? Where is it? This? No, that's the wrong and does not bid. That's the wrong territory. Here it is. Mushan up to 2. So yeah, for 3 we could definitely win it. So the question becomes if we want to commit to that. With Zhezhka, this gives us... I mean, we don't lose too much strength, but it costs a lot of food. You have to increase population 2 times to get those back. On the other hand, warriors are really not super efficient. So we could... yeah, we could beat these 2. But that is also really, really expensive, so I'm not 100% sure. Let's see what... yeah, the food is quite an issue for me. I mean, we have the resources to rebuild. We probably would like to go for Universitas next turn. Mushan will go for Machu Picchu, definitely. That's looking great for him. So, missing 1 civil action. He can't actually finish that next turn, which is great. Yeah, maybe it's not a good idea to bid for this. I mean, on the other hand, we might not want to keep all of these warriors for too long. There's the phalanx that will be available soon from Kimo. He will be losing Sun Tzu soon, and then, yeah, if he leaves play, we get the tactic increased. We can copy that in 2 turns, which I like. So there's that. We can then hope to get the knights. Hope that Mushan doesn't get the knights, but I really think he will take Machu Picchu and then do something else. So we might get the knights, and then we can... yeah, then we can bid those 2 and hope to go for 2 knights. Copy the tactic. It's quite a lot of strength. I think that might be a good idea. So we'll bid 3. Oh, and we win it for 3+. So yeah, let's see if that was a good idea or not. But we get the heavy cavalry, so we can maybe go with the knights for two phalanxes. Then we have a nice transition into, yeah, probably the knights, the heavy cavalry at some point if we really want to. So that's gonna be, yeah, that's gonna be interesting if we can manage to make this pay off. And Mushan will rebuild warrior to fulfill the tactic again. And yeah, he does take the Machu Picchu. Now we can think about playing something here. Phrase, and we could go with the uncertain borders and go for knights. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Go for a lot of military now. Open that cultural influence. There it is. 3 for us. Doesn't really change a lot. Sorry, I really wanted the Universitas. Now I'm not so sure about that anymore. I mean, I want the knights and probably build one. This seems quite good. Then copy the phalanx next turn. Gets us a lot of strength. Can even go for 1 more knight. And then the problem is, if I take Universitas, I will have corruption. Also, it might be just a little bit too late for the Universitas now. I really like early Universitas. We're gonna get some more science from the Roman roads, so we're gonna be at 3 science production, which is fine for now. And then they are pretty good H2 wonders, especially ocean liner service. And maybe get the scientific method going early. That I think it's kind of too late now to commit this turn to Universitas because of corruption mainly. So I'd rather increase or upgrade the iron. And then I could think about bread and circuses because of Pierre, of course. But is it there Gaudi? No Gaudi. So our most likely way to happy face is still the drama. So maybe we will go with the drama and then maybe Bach or even Shakespeare. I mean, there's no Marlene, but I don't know if I really want to take this bread and circus. I mean, next turn we're probably gonna increase population. Then we have, then we need to get 1 happy face. Maybe go for the drama. Could also go for the bread and circuses. Helps with the strength a little bit, but I think we have the tactic coming up for that, for the strength. So I don't really think we need to go for the burn circus for the strength. And then the drama's pretty nice. Has some nice synergies with Bach and Shakespeare, and maybe even Darwin. So I don't think we go for burn circuses this turn. You can play the cultural heritage. Getting the science now is pretty good. Yeah, I think I like this a little bit more. And then the age will be over. Kimmo will be losing Sun Tzu, so he will reveal the tactic, or make that common for everybody to take. And he might go for a knight then, but I don't think he can. Yeah, he can't go for knight and warrior, so he won't be getting stronger. So we should keep being the strongest for this turn and the following. Maybe Mushan will upgrade or increase strength, going for swordsman. Then we are no longer the strongest, but yeah, definitely Ranch will play something, and during that turn we are the strongest. So this seems about right. Don't really need these aggressions that much. Kimmo will probably go with Joan of Arc. She's pretty good for him. And then he will get some strength, but not enough, I hope. He only has 4 civil actions now because of the call to arms. Yeah, get rid of these territories. We can't. I mean, we could still go for some territories. There's Cook, but no Suez Canal. I mean, we don't need all of these aggressions, but we can't keep a lot of cards in hand. I definitely want to keep. I think I want to keep the heavy cavalry, maybe. But yeah, I can probably get rid of the medieval army. The phalanx is upgraded, and that just will be a lot better. So going with that. Then see what we draw. Immigration, okay, and Reign of Terror. Immigration could be nice to get. So yeah, Kimmo loses Zizka. Phalanx becomes available for 4 strength, which we can go for next turn. We're looking good. And Kimmo opens Uncertain Borders, and we win it. That's quite good. I wonder why. Yeah, I guess Kimmo is weakest. Do you really want to play that? Especially now you don't. I guess he's still the weakest, so maybe it makes some sense, but yeah, really love that. Ranch will go for the tactic, take frugality, upgrade science. Has quite a lot of culture production, and with Nostradamus as well. Mushan, yeah, also looking good. A lot of resources. Spends all his military actions. And has some heavy face issues, but yeah, 8 resource production now. A lot of food production from the Machu Picchu. That's looking good. So we are one of the 2 strongest and one of the 2 weakest, but for the foray we would win that. So I think I want to play that. Immigration is not looking as good. Kimmo has 3 happy faces. He's not looking that. I mean, Forbidden City, he doesn't use that at all, and then also 3 happy faces. Seems like a lot. Like a lot invested into ignoring unhappy workers and having happy faces. So maybe we play the Reign of Terror. Being weakest, I don't see ourselves being weakest as Zizka here. And Dark Ages, and we don't lose anything. Kimmo and Ranch do lose quite a lot. And Mushan also doesn't lose anything, so pretty good for him. Yeah, we definitely copy the tactic this turn. We go up to 9. We can increase population, and we could just build another knight. Go up to 15. Fulfill the tactic again. Yeah, that's looking pretty good, I would say. And then we could take the cannons. Cannons can be really, really important, so I like those. Don't really want to grab these H1 technologies. Like, we don't have the most science, so yeah, we could go for journalism. We have the resources. Yeah, we definitely have the resource. We can go for journalism next turn. Maybe delete a philosophy. Could even delete a farm, but probably not. Probably delete philosophy, and then we can go for journalism. And then we do have the option to even go for Shakespeare here if you don't get Bach. Bach probably still better, but Shakespeare could work. If you're journalism already, go for the dramas. Yeah, journalisms and dramas can be quite insane with Shakespeare. If only we get food. But yeah, so 3 selective breedings and Ocean Liner, as well as the Statue of Liberty. That's looking good. Yeah, definitely like that. We still got some food production, so in 2 turns we get another population. We are definitely the strongest, so we win the foray. Maybe we can take food from that, so we don't even have to destroy anything. Not drawing any cards. Yeah, that sucks a little bit. But I guess we're gonna manage. And then we end the turn. And then it becomes a little bit tricky. I guess maybe we can discard the colonization cards. We are in no position to go for colonies. And I mean, maybe I can get off this raid next turn against Kimmo if he doesn't increase strength a lot. I mean, of course he could go for knights, but yeah, he doesn't have the population to go for knights and the phalanx because he would need 2 population. So does he delete something? At least there's an option for us to need the aggression, and I don't see us needing the colonization at the moment. And we definitely want to keep immigration, so we can play something next turn to maybe get the foray. So like that as well. So yeah, we don't draw any new cards. That sucks a little bit. But overall, I think it's looking quite nice. Kimmo opens foray. That's nice. You can take some food from that. You will go for irrigation to get his own food. Doesn't fulfill the tactic, so he's down to 5. Or stays at 5 rather. Ranch will get an international trade agreement with Kimmo. Goes for Republic, can go for that next turn, but doesn't have any military actions. That's looking a little bit dangerous. Shan goes to scientific method. Yeah. Sounds like a great plan. Scientific method. He has the resource production and everything. Getting up his science production will give him a really nice position. And now we can think about immigration, but immigration is really not good for us. Kimmo has a lot of happy faces. I guess he won't be getting more than 3. Not likely at least, because he doesn't need any more from the Forbidden City. But are we gonna get more happy faces? I mean, maybe we build 1 drama, maybe we get Shakespeare, then we get another one. Also, we have no idea what's under here, but we are the strongest, so it wouldn't hurt to play something. Or we can think about the raid. I mean, Kimmo didn't increase strength. He has 4 military actions, 2 defend cards for match 2. Is 8, 9, 10. That would be enough. Also, we can't really destroy a lot. The aggression rate, we can destroy 1 building. That's like 2 resources for us. That's not enough. That's not worth our politics action. I'd rather play the immigration, I think, and then we know that. And then we can play around that. And I mean, we skipped, or we didn't get the team sports. Oh no, the team sports is still in. Maybe we can go for that if we need the happy faces. Yeah, let's play the immigration here. Rebellion. Oh, that's good for us. Mushan loses 4 civil action. Let's take the food. Yeah, down to 1 civil action. That really hurts him for his next turn. Oh man, that is really great for us. I think Mushan has a great position, so this is really good for us. You can play the scientific method, but can't upgrade, so you will have a lot of corruption. Probably needs a tech for more happy faces soon, but he can't take any next turn. This is really great. Losing 4 civil actions just like that. I really like that. So we can increase population now because of the food that we got. We could think about going for journalism. We could think about Eiffel Tower. Can't finish that in 2 turns. This will give us a little bit of corruption, but we can finish that next turn. But I mean, we already have the drama and journalism in hand. So we could go for journalism, but we don't have the population at the moment. So we could just go with the drama and build that. So we go to up to 5 culture production, some happy faces. Then we could think about reserves. Probably not Darwin. Nah, probably not. We want to keep with Jishka for now. If we elect him, we get on to 7. Definitely don't want that. So maybe the strategy. I mean, yeah, we need more military actions once Zizka is gone. The reserves is also pretty nice to get one more population out next turn, then we could go for journalism, but I mean, you can also destroy these philosophies. Maybe a little bit too early for that. But yeah, maybe strategy is too important here. With a Reign of Terror in, we definitely don't want to lose that. So reserves, I think the rest is perfectly fine. I mean, you can think about something else. Like going for journalism, destroying a lab, building that. Then we actually get 2 population out next turn, if there are no reds. Reds would be very bad. We haven't seen them yet, and they definitely could be in. So maybe it's better to spend the food this turn. Because like this we will produce 2 more, we could increase population 2 times next turn, then go for the drama. Get a little bit of science production up. Yeah, if Eiffel Tower was on 1, I could take that and finish it this turn. That would be nice, but can't do that. So I think the drama is better for this turn. I spent my food and everything. And I think I'll have to go for the strategy. I mean, maybe not. We need the journalism out. We need probably selective breeding. Maybe we don't have the science for strategy at this point. Maybe that's too expensive at the moment. Maybe we take the reserves. And what else? I mean, could destroy a warrior, but yeah, we're still the strongest at least. Doesn't look that great. We still have corruption like this. Yeah, that's one problem with the reserves. That we... What do we do with our last civil action? We could go for Cook, but... yeah, I mean, all of these others are way better for us. Shakespeare or Bach, mainly. So I don't want to commit to a leader. So what do we do with the last action? Destroy a farm. Then we build a knight, but yeah, that's also destroys our tactic ones. So maybe we do go with the strategy. I mean, it's still great to have that. Maybe if we get those journalisms going, we will have enough science. Gaudi would also look great for us, but sadly Gaudi is not in this time. Yeah, maybe. I mean, we have a lot of things we need to go for. The journalisms, probably selective breeding to upgrade food production. So a wonder would be great. Maybe we can get Harvard College next turn. Then we can spend our civil actions and resources on that. I think that would be a great idea. Would mean we get our science production under control. And that doesn't cost any science to develop, so that is a great plan. Could also mean that we should go for Eiffel Tower this turn. But yeah, the reds are one reason why I don't want to do that. Because losing 7 food to the reds would be pretty bad. And strategy, don't really want to pass on that one as well. And then we probably get Harvard College next turn, I hope. Kimmo doesn't... I mean, he could take Eiffel Tower or Harvard College, but he doesn't really have the resources. Ranch... Yeah, I could also take one of those two, and Mushan definitely not. He's at 1 civil action, so I hope that we get Harvard College next turn. And then we can afford strategy and everything. And we want to wait with the journalism now, probably for Shakespeare. I think Shakespeare is a good option. Bach would be as well. So both of them work for us, I think. So that's not a bad position. We're still the strongest. A lot of culture production now. Let's go with this. Corruption for 2 is not the biggest problem when we have 14 in the bank. And then let's see if we draw a good tactic. Like mobile artillery maybe? No. But a war could be nice. Yeah, war could be nice. And Kimmo will rebuild a knight. Go with reserves and coal and the cannon. But we stay the strongest. Ranch will not play something. It always feels bad doing that with Nostradamus. Grabs organized religion. And oh, there will be selective breeding for us, which is nice. Mushan can't do a lot with 1 civil action. Has a lot of corruption. Not the biggest problem for him because he has now 27 resources. But yeah, what did he do? Uses Barbarossa at least. Yeah, increase population and use Barbarossa. He's probably not happy with losing all of those civil actions, but he manages to get some turn going. So we are the strongest. We could play this inhabited territory. Yeah, probably want to do that. It's 2 culture. We can maybe in 2 turns go for navigation, who knows. Can't go for war, can't go for the aggression. Let's play that. Scientific breakthrough. Okay, that could help this turn. Or maybe not. I mean, selective breeding is a must here. And then we can maybe increase 2 times. I mean, you could think about scientific method. But we have journalism. I would probably rather go for journalism. That gives us the option for Shakespeare. What do we do? We could even increase 1 more time. I mean, there is the International Red Cross, so extra food can be used for that. So going up for 7 food production here, which is really, really nice. A lot of population. Then we don't get the scientific method, but we have that journalism. With the right population, which we're gonna have, we can go for journalisms. And architecture would be pretty nice, but can't take them this turn. Maybe we get one next turn, who knows, if these guys want to get these cards. But yeah, overall, alternatively we go for scientific method this turn. And grab the selective breeding, but then we also have corruption. Get out 1 population next turn. Get a lot of science out. I mean, there is Bill Gates and Einstein for those, and Steve Jobs to a lesser degree. So we could definitely go with this. But I think with the International Red Cross in the deck, I'd rather go for the selective breeding now. Get a lot of food production going. So I don't think that 3 selective breedings is really too much in this situation. Because we can put those population in a lot of places, we still need a lot of population into the military at some point. And then the rest of the food can go into the International Red Cross. We stay the strongest for now. Have that cannon, have strategy, so our military potential is pretty good. So we can probably afford to go for journalisms. We get them out pretty cheap with Shakespeare anyway. So I think this is, yeah, this sounds like a good idea, I think. We can stay with Zizka for a while. He's still giving us 2 culture production, quite a lot of strength. So we can wait for Shakespeare or Bach to show up. We could even go for Nobel if we really want to. We're gonna see. Probably get rid of the aggression, that doesn't seem likely. Keep the war, maybe that is gonna be useful. And the tactic, of course. Okay, this is the Conquistadors, not really the tactic we wanted. Maybe if we get the last rifleman, we could go for that. But it's not really a lot better than the heavy cavalry. Just 1 more strength for the same amount of units, so probably rather stay with the heavy cavalry even. Still mainly looking for mobile artillery, that would be the best. And Kimmo will open Crusades. We win that actually. Get 4 culture for ourselves. Not bad, not bad. We'll go with the Swordsman, building 1, upgrading 1. And grab scientific method as well. Okay, so he has scientific method and coal in hand and iron. A lot of stuff in hand, but hasn't developed any of that yet. Ranch will grab the selective breeding and the religion. Let's see what Mushan wants to do. Yeah, finally goes for... Oh, actually, even with the architecture. Has some corruption, but not the biggest issue for him, but going up to 7 culture production with those scientific methods. So let's see, I mean, we can't play politics or can't play an event, can't play the aggression either. We could go for a war. Like, there could be some good targets. We can declare the war, go for strategy. It's a pretty small war, but that could be actually good. Could go against Mushan or Ranch. Mushan has 3 military actions. Ranch has only 2. I mean, Ranch could have the classic army. He's at the... Oh no, he's not even at the phalanx yet, so... Oh, he's at the phalanx, but not the upgraded one. But I mean, he could build a knight, then play the classic army. That would give him 5 more for the tactic and 2 more for the knight. That's 7. And we can go with the strategy, go up to 18. So can force ranch to have that. And if not, we get some science, which is really good for us, getting some extra science. So I think I'm a fan of this war. Can we go against Mushan? I mean, he really needs happy face. He can't develop cannon, just build them. I mean, yes, he could do that with Barbarossa, but he only can increase population like that once. So he needs to solve his happy faces first. Of course, he could grab team sports. If he gets that for like 1 or 2, grab team sports, develop that build one. So he has definitely more potential, but he's also the most threatening one. So maybe we declare this war on Mushan. Because Mushan is definitely more threatening than Ranch. Ranch is the safe war. But Mushan is the more promising war. We can go with strategy, increase population, maybe in twice, go for 1 opera. We won't be getting Bach, but that's okay. I think we're still waiting for Shakespeare. Shakespeare would be great for the happy face. We definitely need that, and then the journalism, which I really like. And then maybe just grab the wave of nationalism. Could also go for Robespierre. We're still at despotism, but yeah, without having Conmon or Republic here, I mean, a Republic would be great actually. Robespierre and Republic with his strategy already. But Shakespeare would also be pretty good. Wave nationalism in hand is pretty nice, so I would probably rather take that and wait for Shakespeare. Yeah, that's a tough call. Robespierre could have some great potential, but if someone takes away the Republic, it won't be that great. So I'll probably go for the wave of nationalism. But let's think again about this war. So we have 18, Mushan is 11. He doesn't have the best upgrade for tactics, I guess. He could go for 2 cannons and have the defensive army. That would be a lot. Then we would have big trouble. How much trouble would he have? If he goes for 2 cannons, he would have to delete stuff for that. And he doesn't want to do that. He probably just... Like, if he can go for team sports, he probably will just do that. Sort of not to lose as much science, but... He won't overcommit to that war. I mean, if he could go for 2 cannons and the defensive army, that would be a lot of strength. Really, really a lot. Like 12 instead of the 2. So yeah, you could steal a lot of our science, maybe even the Code of Laws, or the strategy that would really, really hurt. So is that a risk that we are willing to take? Going against Mushan here. Or do we take the safe war against Ranch, get ourselves some science, but don't hurt Mushan? Who has, yeah, some pretty great options for himself. So I like the idea of punishing him a little bit for not going as much strength at the moment. He has great resource, food, and science production. And we have a possibility to punish him a little bit. Also, him being the weakest, he could lose 1 population to the Reign of Terror, making it even harder for him. I think I might risk this. There's only the defensive army that would be super good for him. And then still he would need to develop cannons, destroy 2 buildings, like destroy the philosophy and an iron, and build the cannon. And then play the tactic. Then he would get, yeah, a lot of strength. He would probably go up like 10, 16, something like that. Yeah, that would be pretty dangerous. But the chances are not super high that he has a defensive army. Didn't draw that many cards yet. And there's nothing else really that would be super bad for us. He doesn't have knights. He could go for fortifications, but that's not too bad. And that still would mean some trouble for his turn. Having to delete all of that. Definitely not something he would like. But yeah, if we lose this war, that would be pretty punishing for us. Not having the science. Yeah, that's tricky. Do we go against rank? That is save just a little bit of extra science for ourselves. I would definitely like that. And maybe our position is good enough. We don't have to punish Mushan because we have also pretty good resources. We have great food, already good culture production, and once we get Shakespeare, we also get very nice science production and even more culture. Just feels like if we don't punish Mushan enough, then he will strike back. Because he definitely has the potential to go for a lot of strength. And we have Wave of Nationalism now, we have the cannons in hand, so... Maybe Mushan was delayed enough by that rebellion. But yeah, this is looking dangerous. If he just solves his happy faces, then his position is looking super great. And then hindering that a little bit by taking some signs away would be pretty nice. But that can risk our whole position in this game. Like if you want to play for first, we probably go against Mushan, but then there's also the danger. If we lose that war, we could come in third or fourth, and that would be pretty bad for us. So maybe I don't risk it, maybe it's too risky, and we go for the war against Ranch instead. It's just gonna be a nice, safe war, I think. Doesn't really have, yeah, with 2 military actions, doesn't have the biggest potential. As we said, he can go up by 7. And that is the most he can do, so that is not a big problem. And then I think we do the rest basically the same, go for one more drama. Grab the Wave of Nationalism. I mean, we can also build another knight. Then we have a safe war. I mean, we could also do this and then go against Mushan again, so this is really tricky. Who do we want to go for? Maybe you guys can let me know in the comments of who you would go for against this war. I mean, the standings are looking pretty good for Ranch as well at the moment. So maybe going against Ranch is also a good idea. Yeah, I think a safe war, we really need the science. And like this, we're at least gonna get 4 science from Ranch, which is not the most. I mean, he can spend all of his science, or not all of it. Can go for an opera and selective breeding. And then he will have 5 science left after that. So stealing 5 science is definitely good for us. And it doesn't cost us too much. Could even think about not building that knight. Don't know if we need that yet. Costs 1 military action too much, but yeah, I mean, with the heavy cavalry in hand, there's a good chance that we actually go for that. And it's also good for the conquistadors if we get the riflemen. So yeah, probably going with that. Without that, we don't have corruption, but still probably want to do this. Maybe he doesn't want to go for selective breeding and opera, and then we steal some extra science as well. Yeah, I would really like to force Mushan into some military here, but too much that could be punishing for us. Like even if he goes for team sports and builds 2 team sports, that's 4 strength. Yeah, then the war was well worth it, but also not too strong. Like he gets to that for 1, develops, takes it, develops it. He can even go for 3 team sports if he really wants to. Or I guess 1 team sports and build 2 swordsmen. That is also a lot of strength because it gets to the tactic. There's just too much that can go wrong with the war against Mushan. So I'm going to take the safe war against Ranch. Yeah, go with that. See if we draw a nice tactic that we can use, like mobile artillery still. Nope. Refugees. I mean, there's going to be a point where we're no longer the strongest, if our plan still stands that we go with Shakespeare. We can always switch into Nobel, definitely. Potentially we could also switch into Bach, but yeah, probably Shakespeare or Nobel at this point. And then refugees probably not that good at the moment. Probably too unsafe because we probably won't stay the strongest for too long. And Kimmo will open the Reign of Terror, so Mushan loses 1 population. I think that's pretty good. He will go with Bach, so probably grabs opera as well. I mean, he has drama. Okay, so he wants to go for the drama. And then Ranch will open reds. Those are some juicy reds. Oh man, they're getting really fat, those reds. A lot of food lost. That is an insane amount of food. That's 25 food or something like that. Crazy. That is yeah, probably played or planted by Ranch himself, who only loses 2, but that's still some. But we lose 9 food. That hurts quite a bit. Maybe on the other side we have the food to spare, maybe you could say like that. Okay, the scientific cooperation between Mushan and Kimmo. I think that also hurts Mushan quite a lot. Can't use Barbarossa anymore. I mean, he's still not looking bad, but he probably would have liked to get some more food. And we steal 3 signs from ranch. That's probably worth the war. But yeah, a lot of food lost here. Mushan losing 7 food. Kimmo losing 6 and we losing 9. I mean, we produce 7, so it's not too bad, probably. So we can definitely compensate that, hopefully. So we can play something. I'm not sure about the refugees. Migration would be won by ranch. Yeah, ranch and Mushan, so not sure that I want to open that, but we're not going to get any more happy faces anyway. And as always, if you want to go for Shakespeare, it comes super late. So not that happy about that. Inhabited territory. I mean, we could play the crime wave as well. Theoretically, we could go for an aggression against Kimmo, but pretty unlikely. Just needs 1 defend card. But probably want to play something while we're strongest. Yeah, we can't be part of this immigration anyway, right? I mean, we could go for organized religion. But that feels pretty bad going for organized religion, especially with Pierre on the deck. Let's see first what we're gonna do this turn. So I can't go for journalism now. We could still wait for Shakespeare. I mean, there's no other leader to take anyway. So overall, that didn't pan out as we planned. We can take the Cornmon maybe. Cornmon would be pretty nice. Republic also left. Republic probably would even be better, but yeah, can't say anything against the Cornmon. And I mean, we could also go for the Louvre. But we probably want to spend most of our resources on the journalisms anyway, and we're gonna have the food for that. So next turn we can take Shakespeare, elect him, go for journalism, then we also have 1 more happy face. And alternatively we could go for organized religions this turn. Then we would win the immigration, because we have the most happy face, so 1 more population for free. And especially we take those away, like if someone opens that and Mushan and ranch get 1 free population, especially good for ranch, and also probably nice for Mushan. So you could go with something like this. Also, we don't really have to be strongest. I think we could theoretically destroy the warrior, play the tactic, go down to 15. Yeah, but there's no real reason. So that's interesting with the organized religion. I mean, I hate that especially because of Pierre and because we still want to go with Shakespeare. On the other hand, we need more happy faces at some point anyway. So you could go with the organized religion. And then I'd probably not go for the Cornmon. It becomes too late at this point, I think. Could go with an urban growth. To next turn go for 2 journalisms maybe. Especially like this, and we get the immigration. We have 2 more population out next turn. 1 from immigration, 1 from food. Then we can go for 2 journalisms with Shakespeare. And with the urban growth, we definitely have the resources for that. Yeah, maybe with the immigration in here, the religion play, the organized religion, isn't too bad. And I mean, with so much food, we need happy faces at some point. We don't have any other sources of happy faces. So if we don't get this organized religion, then we would have to get the professional sports or chaplain, I guess. But yeah, chaplain also only has 2 happy faces. And with all of the food that we're getting, we get 1 population out each turn. We're gonna lose 2 yellows to the end of the age. So we need a lot of happy faces soon. And especially because we can't build more dramas, the organized religion maybe is even really good for us. Then the urban growth, you probably want that urban growth, I think. We have to think about playing the heavy cavalry this turn. I mean, Phalanx just is a lot better, especially for us at the moment. And there might still be riflemen, but the thing is, if we don't play that this turn, we might lose it before end of the age. 3 cards gone this turn, so 9 left. So on average, everybody would have to take 3 cards. That's definitely possible. I guess Ranch doesn't have a lot of civil actions, and Kimmer is a pretty full hand, so maybe we have 1 more turn. This also would cost us 1 culture production and the strength, yeah. And then the heavy cavalry is also not that great for us. If we just get 1 more warrior, we fulfill the phalanx again. Yeah, especially because the phalanx is upgraded. I think I want to stay with that. Like, we just need 1 warrior, then we have the same strength as we would have from the heavy cavalry. So I think I don't play that to get the extra strength for the following events. And the 1 extra culture, I guess, isn't too big. But there also is the chance that the age won't be over before next turn. So we're probably going with this. We have journalism, have enough science for that next turn, especially with the discount from Shakespeare. Then that still is the plan. Ranch is still looking for leader, but I don't think he will go for Shakespeare. Can't really. Could just hate draft him, but he's not getting journalism. Only opera, and you need both. Mushan is the same, he doesn't want Shakespeare, so I don't think he will be taken away. Would be pretty weird if Shakespeare gets taken away of all the leaders. Yeah, I'm not sure about the refugees. They might be too big a swing, so maybe just keep the crime wave instead. Definitely want both of the tactics available because, yeah, conquistadors. And they're not a big step up from the phalanx. So both of these tactics not that great, but still want to keep the tactics, I think. Yeah, probably going with this. And yeah, don't play politics this turn because I want to win the immigration, and I only do that with the organized religion. Which I still think is okay for us. It's not a great tech. Professional sports or something, or team sports would probably be better, but I mean, especially denying 2 population, because if immigration gets opened now and we wouldn't have the happy phases, there would be 2 extra population, 1 for Ranch, 1 for Mushan, and definitely don't want to give that to them. So yeah, I think the organized religion is not a super nice play, but it's okay at least. Okay, no new tactic. Popularization of science also not too good. Okay. Camo goes for an opera. Very late iron. Has classic army and reveals it already. Okay. And then Ranch will open the immigration, which we win because, yeah, we specifically wanted to. Then efficient upgrade, breakthrough, and James Watt with all the coal in hand, so he definitely wants to get the coal. Shan. There's Shakespeare finally and Nobel, and the age doesn't even end. That's nice, so he could go for Shakespeare this turn. I mean, first of all, we probably want to play something. We are the weakest, we are the strongest still. Could play the crime wave. Could play paralyzation of science, but I mean, against Mushan, that's not looking that odd. Yeah, I think I'll go with the crime wave here. See what we open. Good harvest, okay. Yeah, we have a lot of food now. Really a lot of food. And there's an International Red Cross, so I definitely like that aspect of it. But that can also give us some corruption issues. I mean, do we have to go for Shakespeare this turn? That would take our whole turn. We could go for Shakespeare, build 1. I mean, we could do this. Then we become pretty weak. Yeah, then become really, really weak. On the other hand, we also really want the Rifleman, I think. Especially with that classic army revealed. Definitely want to go for that. So I could go with the Rifleman. Even build 1. But that could even... Let's see. Yeah, we could go for the Rifleman. Then switch to this tactic. So we are the weakest. Use Wave of Nationalism. Build 1. Upgrade 1. But 4 corruption. I don't know. I mean, we could just take the Riflemen, not go for them, but spend our resources on increasing population. Or not go for the wave nationalism, just go for this normally. almost gets us out of corruption. But I mean, we have so much population, we can't even build a rifleman. Like this, go up to 30 strength. And then next turn we can go for Shakespeare. We're still really threatening. And we keep the Wave of Nationalism in hand. Probably can't use that, but yeah, if we like this, we don't have to pay any corruption, which is really nice. Still want to draw 3 cards, or we could say that we want to upgrade this as well. But we probably don't need to. Rather draw the cards, I think. Maybe some colonization cards for the inhabited territory. I mean, this doesn't look bad. I think we can go for Shakespeare and journalism next turn. That only costs 3 science because of Shakespeare. And yeah, only Mushan. Yeah, Ranch has what? Mushan. He's not going to take Shakespeare. He's going to take Nobel. I'm very certain about that. So we will be losing Zizka. So we lose some strength. Yeah, quite a lot of strength even, but should still be the strongest. Produce 8 culture this turn. And maybe we want to spend the military action this turn. I mean, next turn we probably just copy the classic army. Yeah, that seems like the better thing to do. And then go for journalism next turn. We don't really need the cannons anymore. And then with journalism we get our culture production up, and we have enough population to put into those journalisms and to put into military. So we can definitely go for 2 classic armies. So overall that's not looking bad. We keep 6 resources for next turn with the urban growth. We can go for 1 journalism, which is enough for now, I think. Yeah, I guess we go with this. And then we have yeah, the International Red Cross, where we can score a lot of culture from with all of our food. So overall, I think it's not looking too bad. We have a slight culture lead against Kimmo, and slightly behind Green, so very close between all of these. But Ranch, I mean, his military is not looking bad. If he upgrades his resource production, maybe he also needs to upgrade food, so he's lagging behind a little bit in the rest. So I think overall our position doesn't look too bad. Get rid of the heavy cavalry, and we don't. And we can also get rid of one of these aggressions, I guess, or the popularization. I guess 1 aggression. Can still keep the conquistador if we need that, but probably not. We're probably just gonna copy the classic army. Yeah, let's go with that. Still keep that for some reason. And draw 2 new cards, more colonization cards. We lose Zizka. Okay. And yeah, we can bid for the inhabited territory, getting even more population if we want to. Like just tonight, all of the colonization cards, then we could win that. And Kimmo goes and upgrades iron. So yeah, Nobel and Shakespeare will be available for 1 next turn. Ranch goes with the coal. Yeah, that makes sense. 1 coal. Can't go for it, or doesn't want to go for it yet. Wants to yeah, go for the tactic. Can't copy the tactic at the moment. It goes up to 18 strength, and Mushan will open the inhabited territory. Okay, let's see. I mean, we don't need the population that much, but I mean, we still want it. And the difference between the riflemen and the knights is not that high. So, I mean, could send away the riflemen, then we can go up to 9. We probably don't want more. Could go with 11, but that doesn't seem right. 9 seems like a good number. Could only go with 8. But to be honest, it's only 2 resources, so not the biggest deal. We would go down to 21, so still the strongest for now. And we don't need these for the tactics at the moment. We can copy the phalanx or the classic army from the phalanx. Yeah, we would really love to get that for a knight. Then could just build another warrior. I guess we're gonna copy the tactic anyway. But yeah, I mean, it's 2 population, it's 2 civil actions that we save by not increasing population, but getting that for free. So I like that, and then we can save our food for the International Red Cross, so definitely want to bid for that. Also, there's no other colony that we know of. I mean, yeah, Ranch definitely could have played some, so these definitely could be more territories. But I mean, inhabited territories are really good, so if we can get that, we definitely want to. So I'll bid 9. Okay, so Mushan wins the territory for 9+. Hopefully he has to send away. Okay, not the most. 3 cards. I really thought he would have to pay more, but he doesn't. And he will go for tanks. And build 2 tanks. Okay, he's getting aggressive. Goes for Nobel. So we get Shakespeare now. Pretty nice. So for politics here, popularization of science, probably not. We have 2 at the moment. We will get more with the journalisms. But yeah, against Mushan, who has 11 production. I mean, Mushan's plan probably is gonna be some military. Probably would like to get the military theory for that. And then he can have a lot of potential strength if he gets a good tactic, which he can copy now that he has the tanks. He can go for the classic army. So that's pretty good for him. 2 more tanks will give him a lot of strength. So probably not the popularization of science, but actually if we... I mean, we also have a lot of cards, so if we take a look here... Yeah, there's only 1 H2 defend card left. So we can go for an aggression, I guess. I mean, look at range, only 2 military actions. Even if he has the defend card, he can't defend against us. So yeah, he can't have 2 defend cards, so there's no chance he can defend with those. If he has an H3 defend card, then that's really, really unlikely. He has drawn only 1 card from H3. So that's very unlikely that that is 1 defend card. And we can't use our politics action anyway without doing that. So I think the aggression against range seems like the best play. I mean, the military action costs us a little bit, but actually we probably don't have to copy the tactic. We would go up to 28 again, so we're not even the strongest after our turn. Yeah, so probably, yeah, definitely want to go for the aggression. That is, the extra resource would be really great, really good against range here. So go for the plunder. And the aggression is successful, pretty nice. We can, yeah, steal all of his resources. So he's down to a 0, that's really gonna hurt him. He probably wanted to upgrade his coal next turn. Now he can't anymore, even with the efficient upgrade. Yeah, that's gotta hurt him. And we now have a lot of resources. Yeah, we still just go for Shakespeare this turn, I think. With the journalism, we can increase population and build 1. Can use urban growth. Even if we don't use it, we still have corruption. But I mean, we just got 5 extra resources, so a little of corruption maybe is okay. We have enough strength for the moment, I think. So I don't have to build up military. The alternative would probably get strongest. We can increase population 2 times, still go for Shakespeare, and then we could build 2 more units. Going up to 33, and then next time we could copy the classic army, but then we don't draw only 1 military card. We don't need this strength at the moment. I want to get Shakespeare and the science production going. Can't go for 2 journalisms, sadly. We don't have the civil actions for that. So 1 will have to do. Can go with the urban growth. Next turn I guess we build the next one, and then we hope that we can get government form soon, so we can get 1 more pair, or 2 more pairs, even if we can afford that. I mean, our military is still looking pretty good. We have the available text, or the necessary text for the classic army, which we can just copy. The biggest threat probably Mushan, just upgraded strength a lot and doesn't get a lot of strength from his tactics at the moment, so he can easily go for 2 more tanks. Copy the tactic, but he needs military actions for that, so that military theory. Gotta hope that Kim or Ranch are aware of that and take that away. Definitely Ranch, right? He needs military actions so badly that he would definitely take the military theory away. If not, then he's gonna have big problems, especially after losing all of those resources. But yeah, don't have to worry about strength at the moment. We still have the wave of nationalism. We have quite a lot of resources, a lot of population. So if we need to, we can go for a lot of strength, and that's the most important part. And we go up to 11 cultural production, so we're back with the most production. Kimmer also has pretty nice production, but I think the rest isn't looking as good for him. I mean, his science is okay. Resource-wise, it's pretty equal. Maybe in general, it's relatively equal between me and him. But we have all of the food production. We can go for International Red Cross. So overall, it's going to be interesting who has the advantage, me or Kimmo, both with the high culture production. And then Mushan's plan has to be something with military. He has to find the military actions for that. So just talking about the H3 plans for everybody in ranch. I don't know what his plan is supposed to be now after losing the resources. Can't go for the resource production. He has a lot of culture, so he can try to keep up with that. But I guess he just has to find military actions as well and needs to defend. Get his resource production up maybe next turn and then defend. And then he can't get culture production as well. So, especially after that aggression, I think ranch definitely is the worst position now. And I would say we might have the best. It's hard to tell between Mushan and Kimmo. Mushan really depends on if he can go for those wars. But with Shakespeare, we can go for one more journalism next turn, get even more culture production, good science production, great, enormous food production. So overall, it's still looking good. We could copy a tactic. I don't want to do that at the moment. We wouldn't get stronger anyway. So 28, that's not enough. So I want to draw cards. And then maybe next turn I can copy that when I have extra military actions. Corruption, can't do anything about that, but we just got 5 resources for free. So not too bad. And we could think about colonies. Would anybody... Range definitely could have played some colonies here. I guess we definitely get rid of... Yeah, probably don't need the conquistadors, and popularization of science also seems not the best for us in our position. And then I want to keep the boats and the war. And yeah, we don't need the conquistadors. We have way better tactics available for us, so don't need that one. Hope that we draw some nice tactics, maybe. Or the bit of colonies that could eventually... Yeah, it can at least be something. And some aggression, so ranch doesn't upgrade his strength, which he can't. Then we could even try for another aggression on him next turn. Kimmo will build yet another of those operas, or those dramas. Satellites as well, 24 strength. Ranch will copy the tactic. Yeah, he can copy the tactic, can't. Yeah, his turn is... can take some stuff, but at least he can copy the tactic and get stronger. Mushan doesn't have aggression. Apparently he doesn't want to go for the aggression against ranch. But that would have been a great target for him. So the relative territory. We have a bit of colonies in hand as well, so that becomes important. We have a lot of population, a lot of food. There's also the International Red Cross. So with all of our food we can easily... yeah, some resources would be really great. Can easily go up to 8. Can also go up easily to 9. Yeah, above that we just have to rebuild. I mean, we could use the Wave of Nationalism though. It would be a great opportunity to use that. So maybe we could send more, like 12. Then we can play the Wave of Nationalism, rebuild those riflemen. Guess what we're lacking a little bit is military actions, so we would definitely love to get these. Maybe for 11, then we just have to not rebuild anything, just copy the classic army and still be quite strong. Could go for air forces. Yeah, we probably want this territory, could be very nice. Yeah, let's bid 11 here, I think. We would be willing to bid that. These other guys can also bid a lot. I mean, Mushan only has 1 card. Ranch only has 2 and no defense cards, so you can't really go for that. So Kimmo probably is the biggest contender, and we definitely want to make that expensive for him. I mean, he has satellites, so if he sends the cannon, satellites, and 1 card, that's 3, 7, 10. So we don't want to give it him to 10, so he has to bid more than 11. So we did win the colony. I can show you that right after Mushan's turn. He goes for multimedia. 28 strength still. So yeah, we were able to win the territory. I had to send away 2 units of knights. Because we had to send away 10. So now we are down to 20 strength. Probably don't want to play politics this turn. No real reason to. I mean, there's one H1 card that could be... Okay, we know that it can't be a lot. That could be barbarians or raiders. That would be bad. That could be knowledge of the ancients or new deposits. But yeah. If that was barbarians, that would hit us once we play the Impact of Colonies, because we would be at 100. Then we would have the most culture. So probably don't want to open that. Raiders would be no problem. New deposits could give us corruption, but no problem as well. Yeah, I think we don't play politics. We only have the Impact of Colonies, which is okay. I would think pretty good against Ranch and Kimmo, and the same for me at Mushan. But probably gonna skip because I'm the weakest. And now we have to think what we want to do this turn. Definitely get stronger again, so we're not this weak, so we can defend against Mushan. I mean, first we probably want to build one journalism. I mean, that gives us so much culture and science. It's really cheap. We have all of the resources. So I definitely think I want to do that. And we can increase population again. And yeah, we build a little bit of strength. Can build another rifleman. And we could also build a knight. Then we are the strongest at 29. That's pretty nice. We could go for the communism. We could even do a revolution like next turn. The only problem then is the unhappy worker that we have here. That would give us... yeah, then we can't go for the revolution next turn. We also won't be getting the Air Force, but I mean, these are the first Air Forces. We don't have the civil actions to take these cards, all of them. And we can't build more dramas and journalisms. With Shakespeare, that would be pretty nice, but we can't do that at the moment. Yeah, we need more options, and for that we need civil and military actions, so the communism is pretty good. So we could think about having one free worker, so if we increase population, build that, then just build one of the riflemen. Then we are 23, so we were still the weakest. We could build a knight and then copy the classic army. Then we are 26, so not the strongest, but also not the weakest. Then we could increase population and take communism. I mean, this would work. Then we only draw one card, which sucks it a little bit. Once we have the communism, we have enough military actions to copy the tactic without losing cards. And we don't have a lot of great cards in hand. One other thing we could do is destroy one of these labs. Build journalism from that. And increase population 2 times. Yeah, that doesn't really make a lot of sense here, I guess. Like, we wanna... Also a question if we want to use the wave of nationalism, but I don't think we have the civil elections this turn. And keeping that in hand gives us a lot of flexibility. It's always better. Yeah, we have the resources this turn that would just give us corruption, so keeping the wave of nationalism in hand is pretty nice. You want the communism as well. I mean, we could build this journalism, destroy the lab, and then rebuild both of these. Then we have 29. We have yeah, our yellow bank looks a lot better then. Then we could go for the communism next turn, because then the unhappy worker won't be a problem, because our yellow bank doesn't require this one happy phase. So destroying one of the philosophy labs, I mean, we don't really need them, because we have the journalisms. And then getting stronger, 29. Being the strongest is pretty nice for these cards. This one played by green. That could be anything really. No idea what it would be, but we have a good idea what it can be. And then from H2, of course, being strong is also pretty nice. Cold Wars would be nice. Refugees, of course. So I think this is a good option. Allows us to go for the communism revolution next turn, and then we can copy the classic army, so we also get stronger. If anybody, I mean, I don't think anybody can declare war. They don't have enough military actions. No, they don't. The International Red Cross will maybe get picked up by Mushan, which will be pretty nice for him. He has all of the food that he needs and the architecture. But yeah, we don't have these civil actions to compete for these wonders. So we need more civil actions. Still pretty early in the age, so the communism will hopefully pay off. Getting extra resource production, yeah, we'll take that. And then we can go for more dramas and journalisms, which is very important, I think. That we can build those cheaply with Shakespeare. We have a lot of food. Can even increase population 2 times the following turn, or even more. We have great population from all of the food. Just going for communism next turn. Probably will give us 2 corruption, but that's okay. And communism at the revolution, just 1 science is really cheap. We don't have a lot of science. And then the following turn we can go for more operas, for more dramas and journalisms. But I think we need a new government form, and without a revolution that's going to be hard. And communism is going to be great because only 1 science cost. It's going to be really helpful. And yeah, this I think doesn't look bad. That will give us a lot of options. We still draw 2 cards. Destroy 1 philosophy, but that's okay because we have 2 journalisms. I'll go with that. And then let's see what we draw. 2 cards. Not the best. I mean, we could theoretically go for the positional army. We have the cannons. I mean, we could still go for wars. We have cannons and now the positional army. Like if you build 4 cannons, that is a lot of strength. So that still definitely is an option. We have the strategy and communism that will give us enough military actions. So that still is definitely not off the table if we draw a war for culture, that is. So the pact gets cancelled, the scientific corporation from Kimmo. Yeah, looks like he won't be getting a lot out of that anymore, so good decision I think. Grabs air forces, yeah, reserves and efficient upgrade. A lot of yellow cards in hand. Ranch can now finally go for the... yeah, can't even go for 2 coal, so he's finally stabilizing a lot. And he goes for the Red Cross. So Mushan can't get that one. New deposits, that's pretty good for Ranch, right after he upgrades his resource faction. So he definitely stabilized a lot after that aggression. Shan will go for Bill Gates, 15 science, 14 resource production. Still pretty early, so yeah, wars could definitely be something we have to worry about. We are not the weakest, or not even one of the 2 weakest, so definitely want to play something. And a bit of colonies, it's going to be, yeah, quite good, very solid to play that. And it's going to be emigration, nobody gets hit by that at all. So if we go for the revolution, we can't build 1 step on Ranch's International Red Cross. But still, I think I have to go for the communism. Theoretically, I mean, we could also... well, let's see first what we do if we don't do that. We can go for the International Red Cross. 1 step, that's 6 culture, which is pretty good. We can grab revolution. These 2 revolutionary ideas are going to be very, very good. And then we could increase population and build another knight. I mean, realistically, we could try to go for the cannons and the positional army. I mean, like this, we can go for the communism next turn with the revolutionary ideas, which is not going to cost us the whole turn. Especially, yeah, those 2 revolutionary ideas change things a lot, I think. I mean, yes, we save 17 science going for the revolution. But, yeah, like this, with the revolutionary ideas, we get 12 science and 6 culture from the Red Cross, which you also take away from other people. We do have corruption, probably not the biggest problem. So this is definitely something we could do. Alternatively is probably just go for the communism. And then copy the tactic. So we have to... yeah, we stay at the same strength, but copying the tactic will be good in the long run. Missing out on revolutionary ideas, but we save a lot of science on the communism. But we can't go for the Red Cross. That is really, yeah, a tough decision. I have to think about that one a little bit here. A lot of food. We're gonna get a lot of population out of that soon, which we can then put into the dramas and journalisms. Militaries are looking fine. 2 classic armies is pretty strong. We have all the military actions that we need then. Well, so let's see the other one again. Revolutionary ideas. Build 1 step. And then increase population. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And building 1. This even puts us out of corruption, so we could even think about this instead of the knight. Yeah, the knight, I mean that, yeah, it's probably maybe even good. It depends a lot. So we could do this to not have corruption. The next turn we have 14 signs, we go for 1 revolutionary and then the communism. Then we can increase population once. Go for drama, maybe journalism. Yeah, probably. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna go with the other one. Not getting the revolutionary ideas hurts a lot, but we've saved so much science on the communism revolution. We set up nicely for that. And then we produce even more food. We can increase population next turn quite easily. Build more of the drama and journalisms. And we still have healthy science. 5 science production. And 8 in the bank, so we can go for Air Force or whatever we need. So, probably even tactic as well. Looks pretty solid. We are the second strongest still, which is pretty good. We draw a lot of cards. We have a lot of resources in the bank, a lot of food as well. So overall looking pretty solid with nice culture. We don't need the 6 culture from the International Red Cross, I think. Yeah, let's go with that. Yes, I did not build on the Red Cross. We will have 2 corruption, which is also okay, I think. Yeah, let's go with that. Go with the communism or revolution. See what we draw. Maybe some nice impacts. Variety and government. Communism definitely is pretty good for the government. 23 at the moment. And we might get more, but 23 is already pretty solid. Peace treaty could be nice for us. And then input of variety is also, we are pretty good in variety. Crime wave hits Ranch and Mushan, pretty good. And goes for revolutionary idea, patriotism, Kimodas. He has a lot of military here, so he's preparing for that. Ranch, which is our biggest opponent now. Goes for computers. Yeah, he stabilized pretty nicely, and he gets the international tour, and that's really bad for us. Ranch getting that pact gives him 3 culture production from the wonders of Mushan. And yeah, this at least we got the aggression off against Ranch, which was really, really important, keeping him down. He's still, I mean, he has stabilized now, but that delayed him quite a lot. We can finish the International Red Cross. Let's see first what we want to do. A bit of government would be great. I don't think there's anybody to go for the peace treaty here. I don't think Mushan is looking very dangerous. He has 40 strength without a tactic or with the Legion. So if he has a modern army, he can just play that next turn, upgrade 1 swordsman and build another cannon. Yeah, the wars from him are looking dangerous. So I definitely think I want to prepare for that. But I don't think he will accept the peace treaty. Input of government is looking really strong with communism and everything, so I'm gonna just play that. We're not the weakest. Ravagers of Time. That hurts a little bit. I mean, can he still increase population? Probably want to build 1 step of the International Red Cross. And then probably prepare for some wars, take the air forces. We can go for the air force. I guess we can increase population, doesn't do a lot. Could destroy the lab, then go for the air force. Give us 42, so we are the strongest. And then maybe just build another drama so we have more production. We could go with Pierre, we could go with the pro sports. Yeah, this is a really important turn, so let's take a step back. Yeah, we have to scramble the Roman roads. Definitely need the air forces, that is gonna be really good. I guess it just makes sense to increase population, and if we have that free worker, I guess we could also put that into the religion. That doesn't, yeah, that helps with the epiphases a lot, doesn't give that much less science. Drama is only 2 culture, culture not science, 2 culture, organized religion still is 1, so not the biggest difference. Then we can increase population again, don't have to destroy our lab, get out of corruption, can still go with the International Red Cross. At 6 culture for free, I really like that. We have still very healthy production. But Mushan is looking good. Now at least we have a lot more culture at the moment than him. He has 80 and we have one more production phase, so we always have 140, so he has to definitely catch up with that. And then we have one civil election left, which we can think about. We could use the wave even. I don't know if that works. I guess that would give us corruption. No, it doesn't give us corruption. So we could go with this. We have a lot of resources left. Next time we can go for Air Force and 2 knights. Could even go for war. 2 Air Forces and a knight. That is a lot of strength. We just have to delete a little bit of stuff. Then we don't get any of these cards. But Pierre, I mean, we get 4 culture production from Shakespeare. But will we ever be able to use the Wave of Nationalism again? Or did we finish that? Oh, we wanted to finish that, right? Yeah, grab the Air Forces, increase population, build a religion, finish the International Red Cross. Then we can increase population, play with nationalism, build that. Yeah, so like this, so we don't increase population but build 1 step. Next turn we can increase population again, so basically the same. And we can go for war. If we draw the war, we can go for that against Ranch maybe, that would be pretty nice. He doesn't... He has some military potential, but yeah, keeping that option open is pretty nice. Maybe we can even go with an aggression, maybe that's even enough. So how the math works out for this game, you just have to be first or second place and in front of Ranch. So maybe this makes a lot of sense. We get the strongest for those 2 events. We have Imp of Colonies and Government in there, which is pretty nice. And then Mushan hopefully won't go for the war against us, because we can increase strength quite a lot. We can go for, yeah, 2 knights and an Air Force. That's 16, 20, 25. I guess Mushan could get stronger, but there's also another play that we could go with Pierre and Pro Sports, but I don't think we can get the Air Forces then, and we definitely need them. Like if we... I mean, we definitely take Air Force, we definitely increase population. We could go with the Pro Sports and build that. Then we go to 33 strength. We have a lot of corruption. The other play ends without any corruption, which I really like. Like this we could then finish the Red Cross. Have 2 corruption and maybe take Pierre. Not electing him yet. We do that once we have another Pro Sports. We could defend against Mushan with this play. But we can't go for the Air Forces like this. So then this is not good. Not having enough science for the Air Forces, that is too risky. We need those Air Forces to defend next turn. So I think, yeah, the other play makes a lot of sense. Going for Air Forces, 1 organized religion, and 1 of these Air Forces with the wave. And then just finishing this to get 6 free culture. Then we have enough food next turn for 1 more population increase. For that, we probably lose our yellow bank. We don't get any Nobel Prize, but yeah, the Air Force of this turn I think makes a lot of sense. Being strongest tells Mushan that we can go for defending a war, which I like. So I think that's relatively important. So Mushan can probably pick his target if he has the war. And we don't want to be that target, so I think this makes a lot of sense. We have the Imp of Variety, which is going to be pretty good. We have the Air Force, we have a lot of variety going. And we have some aggressions, only the War over Technology. So if you draw the War over Culture, we can probably go for that against Ranch. Don't think, I mean, it depends on if he gets the Air Forces or if Mushan gets those. If Mushan gets Air Forces as well, we want to end the age pretty fast. I mean, he can then decide where he want to go with those wars. Maybe doesn't want to go against us. Could be very important who he goes against. I think, yeah, this looks solid. Not getting Pierre, not getting Endowment. Mushan with the... Yeah, with this great resource production from Machu Picchu and no Bill Gates. He has a lot of options even 3 multimedias and still so many resources. He has to catch up quite a lot of culture, but he has probably a couple of turns to go. Probably 2 more turns for him, which is not going to be the most production, and we still have good production, so I like that. Once we lose Shakespeare, I mean, maybe we can grab Fleming next turn, or Chaplin. I guess we don't need the happy faces now that we have 2 organized religions. But Fleming is an option, and then maybe just Steve Jobs for 1 technology for extra culture from him. So I think I'll go with this. Being the strongest is relatively nice. We have the pretty high cultural production still, and let's hope we draw a war. No war. No war. Input of population is looking really good, especially against range, so that is a really good draw. Not having the war, on the other hand, not so much. Maybe we can try an aggression, but we can also just play the input of population. Gimmo will take the fast food chains, build a little bit of strength, builds 1 step, so he can't finish that. That will be quite a lot of culture for him, probably. Ranch will go with tanks to get some strength up. And on one of the arts, yeah, that's probably gonna be 6 culture for him. And then patriotism, so he's preparing for war. Let's see if Mushan. No war, only the aggression, and Ranch can easily defend with 1 defend card. So Ranch probably no war in hand, or no tactic. One of the 2. We'll go with... okay, he does have a tactic, so that was another problem. Probably not having a war in hand was. And he did go with scientific method, another one. I mean, 104 culture, we have 135, we have 1 more production, so that's pretty good. So yeah, we did a pretty good job of keeping Ranch down. Would have loved to get that aggression from Mushanov, and we maybe could have gone for 1 as well. We could still try it, try to go for 1 of these aggressions. Ranch just played 1 defend card, but he only needs 1 to defend against us. And we don't really, yeah, we only know of 2 that are out. So it is relatively likely that Ranch has something. And we have some impacts as well, like number of population is really good against Ranch. That really secures that. Not that great against Mushan, but I mean we get 1 more population out. Mushan probably doesn't. I mean he might with the reserves, but I mean it's a pretty great impact also against Kimmo, which also isn't out of the race. With that fast food chains he could also win this, and that would obviously be a disaster because we have to win this game and Ranch has to come in 3rd or 4th place, then we win the league. So yeah, I guess we play the input population. Of course, if we would win the armed intervention, that would be really great, but I don't think we have to try that. The input population is good enough for us, giving us a lot of culture more than Ranch and Kimmo, which is still important because, yeah, Mushan, I mean, he has a lot of production. But after our production phase, we have like 50 culture more than that even, and then it's gonna be hard for Mushan to catch up. I mean, yes, he has scientific methods and everything, and great production. Probably some great impacts as well. Input of government and colonies also is pretty good for him. So yeah, Mushan definitely has a lot going for him. But we have the culture lead, so I'll play the input of population here. International negotiations. Okay, so we can decide what Mushan gets here from Ranch. I mean, we could give Mushan the food. Then he has 6 food, that also is not enough to increase population. Next turn he would need 7 food. So Mushan can't use that, and Ranch, I mean he doesn't really need that. But he also really doesn't need the science, and... okay, Mushan probably doesn't need the science either. So there's that. I mean if he has input of technology in, that could be disastrous. But then the 4 science probably doesn't make the biggest of difference. Ranch with, I mean, 5 science, he doesn't have science in hand. He can't use that science anyway, so does he really need that? He can also use the food. What does Ranch want to do next turn? Can't go for computers. Can't really build anything to produce culture with. Maybe he'll take Man Project, which might even be good. Then he takes that away from Mushan, because that would be really good for Mushan. So your ranch probably takes the Manhattan project. Yeah, I think I'll just take the food from ranch to Mushan here. Nothing else really. I mean, that also doesn't change a lot, but I could go with the science, of course. Then ranch can't go for computers next turn. That would probably mean he doesn't go for Manhattan project. Can we take Manhattan project? I mean, we could maybe. Yeah, let's take the science. We can take that back. Let's see what we want to do this turn. We, of course, increase population. And then it looks like we can build one more pair of operas and drums. If we destroy the... Yeah, like this, we go up to... We stay at 42, we go up to 22 culture production. And then we can take Fleming. Maybe take democracy away from Kimmo. Yes, Kimmo has revolutionary ideas. He would love that democracy. Could then build one more drama, which we don't want to give him. So both of these are pretty good. Then we can play Fleming next turn, because at the moment it would be bad. So I'd rather take the culture from William Shakespeare here. And then, I mean, we have enough resources to potentially go for my project, but I just hope that ranch takes that away, because that would be too good for Mushan. I mean, Mushan would have to pay 4 civil actions for that. Can't finish that in 1 step, so could even go with reserves and go for 1 more multimedia before he does that. But I can't really invest my turn taking my project instead. There are too many that I have to be concerned with. Like Kimmo as well, if he gets the 22 culture from the fast food chains, he has more culture than us. At least we have some really good impacts against him, so there's that. Can we end the age? Ah, that's too hard. That would be great against Kimmo losing Bach, but I don't think that's really an option. I could not go for these, or destroy one of them. Just build one of those. Then we do have corruption. We could take Flaming, Democracy, and Manhattan Project. I mean, like, we can finish Manhattan Project next turn, giving us 7 culture, which... I mean, yeah, there could be ways we get more. Could not take the... We could not take Fleming. Can also go with Steve Jobs next turn for 1 technology with him. It's gonna be even more than Fleming. So we could take Manhattan Project. Maybe destroy one of our... Yeah, maybe destroy one of our riflemen. We don't really need them that much anymore. There's not gonna be a war from Mushan. There might be a war from Ranch, but yeah, if he declares a war, he has patriotism. He could go for 2 tanks and a rifleman. That is a lot of strength. I don't know if he would want to go for that. But that's something that he could do. He would have to destroy quite a lot of things. Does have enough resources, and that would be 10, 18. Yeah, that's not really enough, I think. We can go with the main project. My idea is building another drama as well for the next pair for Shakespeare. So like this, and then we can finish my project next turn, and then we can take Fleming or Democracy. And I really think Democracy is quite important. Taking that from Kimmo, he would love to take Democracy, play Revolutionary Idea, get the Democracy, build another drama, and then can finish the fast food chains next turn. And like this, he doesn't have as many options, so I really think we have to take that one away. And then next turn we finish the Manhattan Project, giving us a lot of strength. We can defend against an aggression from Mushan. And then we get 7 science from the Manhattan Project. 7 culture from the Manhattan Project. And a lot of strength might be important for input of strength, but for nothing else. But mainly taking that away from Mushan. I guess, yeah, this definitely works. We have 20 resources next turn, so we can finish the main project. We can't go for another journalism after that. But we have a lot of civil action. We can then finish the Manhattan Project, maybe take and elect Steve Jobs and develop like movies even. Maybe you can even upgrade with the rest of the resources. Not sure, but going for one technology with Steve Jobs for for more culture. And Mushan, I mean, he also always gets the Nobel Prize, so he's really getting a lot. So if we don't give him the Manhattan Project, I guess he can go for movies, grab the movies, destroy some military, build those movies. He can build 2 movies. I mean, that's... yeah. Definitely he can't get the Manhattan Project. That would be 21 culture, then he definitely might get close. Like this. It's not the greatest one, I would love for this to be something else. But this is the last one that there is. And I think we should definitely take that one. So this looks... we are still the second strongest. We can defend. We can also defend against the war from ranch, I think. Yeah, we definitely should be able to. We can finish the Manhattan Project. That's 13. And ranch can get... I mean, he can get 18 plus 1 rifleman. Like if he builds 2 tanks and a rifleman, he gets 13 from tank and rifleman and 8 from the classic arm. That's 21, so it would be at 55. I guess he could win the war. Even though if we really have to commit, we could also build 1 rifleman and 2 knights. I think this should be safe. I don't think range is or will be going for war. Yeah, I don't really see him doing that, especially with our Manhattan Project. If we had drawn a war ourselves, we could have gone against range, even though he obviously can defend a little bit, but we could this turn do quite a lot. But sadly we didn't draw a war over culture, so I think this is probably our best option. Still not sure about destroying that 1 military to build 1 more drama, but that is 4 culture production this turn, 2 more next turn, because of Shakespeare this turn, and there's more. I don't think there will be a war. And also, we take 3 cards, so 3 left. Very, very slim chance that there will be 1 more round, and I don't know who would want to delay the turn or delay the game that much, so I don't really think there's gonna be 1 more round. So this next turn is gonna be our last. We can finish the Manhattan Project for 7 culture, which is not great, but at least it's something. And then we're still the second strongest for the impact, or for the event. We have 3 impacts in here: colonies, government, and population, which are really good against Kimmo and ranch especially. Ranch is really bad in some of these like colonies and population, so I don't think he's too dangerous. Mushan and Kimmo on the other hand can definitely be quite dangerous. We produce more than Kimmo, but he gets the better wonder. Maybe gets a Nobel Prize. But we have also some great impacts against him. So a lot, of course, as always, comes down to the impacts. And then Mushan, of course, if he has input of technology in, he has he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 H3 technologies at the moment. We have 1, 2. And we're gonna get 1 more, but Mushan can go for a lot more. So I definitely think Mushan might even be the biggest contender, so taking the Manhattan Project away from him, which would be easy 21 culture for him. Maybe even more. Yeah, I think I want to do that. Yeah, he could even go for 1 more multimedia. Right, yeah, with the reserves he has enough. He could build 1 more multimedia and then finish the Manhattan Project. Then he would get even more, so I don't want to give him that. So I think we take that this turn. And then we see what the other guys do. Don't need these tactics anymore, can get rid of them. Can also get rid of the war, I guess. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, tough decision. 1 more time thinking about it, but I think overall that's what I want to do. Not completely sure about destroying the rifleman, but getting 1 more pair up with Shakespeare is really cheap. These dramas don't cost a lot, so that is nice, saving some resources, so we don't have to do that next turn for a lot more. And then great production, 22. I mean, after this, We're gonna be at 160 culture against... okay, Wonders is pretty bad. Definitely don't want to play that one. Variety also not that great against Mushan. Maybe we can make that work. We're gonna see. But yeah, we have 160 against 104. That should be enough. 60 culture and he doesn't get a Wonder. Only the impacts, which we know 3 of, which are all pretty equal. That should hopefully be enough against Mushan. Hopefully. Kimmo will go for Chaplain. Destroy one farm, goes for an Air Force, and builds a step on his Wonder, so he can finish that next turn. Doesn't want to get too weak, and the end of the age comes. We lose Shakespeare, sadly. He's definitely done a lot of work, so I'm happy about that. Ranch will take Einstein, so he can go for pro spots next turn, but only one technology with that. And Mushan will open Independence Declaration, but Ranch doesn't even have a colony, so that doesn't hurt him. Mushan will go with oil, so he probably, yeah, he put in the input of industry, that's pretty certain. Yeah, definitely. And he didn't... yeah, he didn't spend a lot of his science, so I think it's really unlikely that there is the input of technology in there. So that's pretty good information for us. We can... yeah, let's first see what we want to do this turn, then we can see if one of these impacts are gonna be good. I mean, of course, we could try to go with the oil, now that Mushan reveals that that impact is in there. We could upgrade and still finish the Manhattan Project. So like this. I mean, this is... yeah, I mean, this is only 3 culture, the iron to oil. And if we go with Steve Jobs, we can get, like, the movies with Steve Jobs and then finish the Manhattan Project. Sadly, we don't have enough civil actions to also upgrade one drama. I guess we don't have the resource for that anyway, so maybe this is just the best, getting 4 culture from Steve Jobs. I mean, we can't really get better for any of these impacts. Yeah, no way to get better on any of those. So we could go with the oil, but the oil actually only is 3 more culture, and with this play, Steve Jobs play, we gain 4 culture and then 7 for the Manhattan Project. Maybe a bit of strength is in. Of course, we could not finish the Wonder, go for oil, upgrade those. And then that's from 6 to 15, 16 production. No, 15, only the mines count, so that is 9 culture. But yeah, the other plays still more, 7 from the Manhattan Project, and then also that's pretty good for the strength, so we can compete in the input of strength. So we want to do this, and then develop one technology, it doesn't really matter which one. Let's take the movies. Yeah, and then we can see one of these impacts is going to be good. I mean, a bit of variety, we have 18 against 18 and 12, so it's good against Ranch, but not so much against Mushan. And the Imp of Wonders, yeah, we can't go for that one. But we could go with the Imp of Variety. I mean, is Kimmo getting more variety? Probably not. I mean, he might build a religion. He doesn't have the resource for that. He finishes the fast food chains. He has 2 resources left, can't go for 1 religion. So we probably can safely go for this, because this is going to be 3 culture for playing it, so 21 culture for us, so it's still better than for the others. So that should be the exact right thing to do. So get that out. Oh. Yeah, then of course that wasn't so great. Maybe we should have said we don't need the 1 culture and can just wait for that. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't have played that. Interesting that there's the Imp of Strength in. Yeah, still do the rest the same. Yeah, that really sucks that it has to be the Imp of Strength on top and not something like colonies, government, or population. So let's go with this. Get the culture from Steve Jobs. Still 180. I mean, against 150, Kimmo might win this if we're not careful. But I mean, we have the input of government, population, and colonies against him, so I don't think he's too threatening. He gets fast food chains for 21. Yeah, if only we hadn't... Yeah, maybe that wasn't that great. I mean, we couldn't know that it was the input of strength. So, probably still worth the risk. Is some extra culture for us, especially against Kimo. It was like 3 extra culture to get that. It's pretty nice. Of course, it didn't turn out that great, but at least we still got 5 culture because we had more than range, or it was our turn. So yeah, can't change that now. Maybe we should have been more careful, but I still think we have really good chance at winning this. I mean, we end at 195 culture. Kimo has 1 production and finishes fast food chains. I mean, he has revolutionary ideas. He maybe can go for another Nobel Prize. But yeah, we have a lot of impacts where we are way better than him, so hopefully that carries us to the win. If not, then it probably comes down to the input of strength being revealed too early. So maybe playing the input of variety would have been the deciding mistake. But yeah, we're gonna see that after his and Ranch's turn. And Kimo opens input of government, 24 for Mushan, 23 for us, so not a big change. And Kimo himself gets 15 only, that is really good. Then 19 for Ranch. Kimo finishes his fast food chains for 21. And he ends up at 198. Now Ranch will open up a bit of population. 24 for Mushan. Yeah, Mushan has really great impacts. We are close behind, 22. Then Kimo again, only 14. Yeah, these impacts hopefully are going to cost him the game. And then Ranch will go for something. Competition. Okay, competition, that's where we're really not that great. 11, 20, 21, and 18. Colonies, 6 for us, that's really great. Mushan also gets 6. 3 for Kimo. Industry, 6 for 15 for Mushan. But I think we should have this. Mushan is gonna overtake Kimo, probably. Kimo gets 14 for the happiness. Mushan as well, we get the full 16. That's great. 2 more impacts to come. And I think we have this. A bit of variety. 18, 16, 20. Yeah, Mushan has good impacts. He should overtake Kimo soon, or at least with Bill Gates he should. And the last one is Harmony, 24 for us, really good. So we end up at 321 culture. Mushan will overtake Kimo and he gets a little bit extra, 8 extra from Bill Gates. But in the end, it's enough for us. And we win. That is great. 321 against 298 from Mushan. Really well played by all of these guys. I think in the end it got really close, but we navigated the end game pretty nicely, knowing that Mushan and Kimo would be the biggest opponents, and then playing for some of these impacts where Mushan made a lot of culture and Kimo was struggling a little bit, so he comes behind Mushan in this game. Wench, I think a lot of this came down to the one turn where we had the aggression on him, really delaying his resource production that he would have wanted from Watt and everything else. So I think that was where his game failed. Overall, really interesting game. I think all of these guys played really nicely, and this is the last game of the tournament. And of course, we're gonna have a look and see what this means for the end standings. And with this very last game complete, we're winning against Mushan, Kimo, and Ranch. We can have a look at the standings, and there we see I'm on top with 23 points. Ranch has 21, Mushan 20, G 18, Tamaris 16, and then Kimo and Octavian will go down to the Platinum League with 11 and 10 points. So yeah, I'm able to finally rank up to the Grandmasters League this season. So next season those games should be even better, I hope. So that is really great. That is something that I'm really glad that I was able to win it, and I'm really happy that I can show you the Grandmaster League games in the next season. So yeah, overall this tournament was really a lot of fun, really great, really close even, 23 against 21 the last game. All of us three could have won this league in the last game, so that was really exciting. And when playing those turns, I really was getting really excited for who would be able to win it. Go ahead and also have a look at the Grandmasters League for this season to see where we're gonna play against in the next season. If we just go down here, you can see that in this season Frotes was able to win the league, and he really dominated. 30 points. He won he won 3 4-player games, 1 second place, and he did really well in the 3-player games as well, winning 1 and coming 2 second places. So really strong play by Frotes here. Then we see that Invalid Name, Dr. Nate, Fizzy, Silent X, and sadly Payada will D-rank this season. There was 15 points for him and Silent X 111. But there's a tiebreaker, and Payada sadly wasn't able to stay in the Grandmasters League, which really sucks. I would have so much enjoyed to play against Payada again. But sadly, when we rank up, he ranks down, so we just have to stay in this league for 1 season, and then Payada hopefully comes back for the season after that. But yeah, congratulations for Frotes for winning the International Championship Season 10. Really great job, well done. We can also see who won Masters 1. I'm not going to go on all of these leagues to see, but yeah, the winner of Masters 1 will also join the Grandmasters League in the next season, so it's good to know your enemy and see who won that league as well. And there we can see, if we go down, that's League 1 to 3. I think we've played him quite often I think last season maybe we played against him. I definitely remember that name. He's definitely a good player. 25 points, also relatively close, so he will be joining us in the next season in the Grandmasters League. So, with that said, I really hope you enjoyed this game. I hope you enjoyed the whole season. There's gonna be more videos to come. Not the tournament games. I'll have to wait for the next International Championship to start and then to finish the first games before I can post those. But I have some other ideas of videos that I will be making during that. If you have any ideas, let me know in the comments what you want to see, if you have any suggestions. And as in the beginning, check out the social media links if you want to support me. Hope you enjoyed the video, hope you enjoyed the game, and I hope that I see you for the next season of International Championship as well.